Okay, so we got another woman's watch with a very thin strap, probably 13 mil. It's a DMQ. It looks like it's got some paint. Maybe that's inlay, maybe. It does look like it actually has some faceted crystals. I don't think these are glued in. Yeah, they really do look like they're faceted. But I've been wrong before. I'm not 100%. I mean, look, it looks like it's got 4 prongs around each stone. So, might be a okay quality watch. It is a quartz watch. Base metal. It says it's got a Swiss movement in it. Huh. Stainless steel back, base metal bezel. Huh. Okay. But then the leather band is Chinese and it's falling apart. You know what? I wonder if I could swap the leather band out from this. You know what? I probably could. This is a higher quality leather band. But this one's just cracking. I mean, it looks fine in the front. And believe it or not, but Tissot leather bands are notorious for doing this kind of stuff. Like cracking in the back. It's not too bad. But, oof, it looks like somebody's already tried to get in here multiple times. You see all the tool marks somebody left on there, and it's also like half open as it is. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I just pressed it back in all the way. Alright, well, let's reopen it and see what we're working with. It's kind of an oval shape. It says it's got, that does look like a Swiss movement, doesn't it? Interesting. So if they bothered to put a Swiss movement in it, then it probably, those crystals are probably actually in, or the prongs are real and they're faceted. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so what do we got? ETA 980108. 7 joules. Hey. Wow. That's a fancy movement for this watch. Cool. Okay. Should just come off. Just a battery thing to press it into the circuit on the case back. Alright, what do we have here? SR516S. It's a Sony battery. Sony makes good batteries too. Japanese battery and a Swiss movement. Hey. Well, that came out alright. Let's see what this is. Alright, so even where the battery was looks pretty good. I don't see any leaking or anything. It's pretty clean. I think there's a good chance this is going to work. It might be a little sticky though, because for whatever reason Swiss watches like to just stick. Okay, so this is a 317 battery. Is it? Whoa, where'd it go? Anyways, I think it is a 317. So, do I have any of those? I think I do. Is it a 317? 317. Oh, you know what? This is a very small battery, isn't it? Which means it's in the small battery box. Ooh, and I don't have any. Dang. Well, I could try a smaller diameter. and see. No, it's not going to work. Maybe a bigger battery, like a taller one, might be okay. Let's see. Let's see if this one works. You know, that doesn't look that bad. Does it run? It runs. So I think a tall battery is going to be okay. The only thing that's going to happen is I think this just might be compressed a bit more, which having a taller battery might prevent the case back from going back on. But in theory, it should be okay to put back together. You usually don't want to do this though. Oh man, I can't get this thing back in. You usually don't want to put the wrong size battery in these movements, because like I said, you could damage, and this thing doesn't want to go back in. You could damage all kinds of stuff putting the wrong size battery in. Okay. Yeah, this thing doesn't want to go on properly. I think it wants to go on like this. Maybe. Should be like that, right? Well, I know it works. I could order the right size battery for it instead of trying to put it together like this. It'd be fine to order. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, you know what? The old gasket on this is disintegrating. Yeah, it's completely dried out. Now how do I find a gasket for an oval-sized watch? I don't know. So it's 14 that way, 21 that way, so maybe something in between. 14 and 21 would be 7, so maybe I try something like, I don't know, 19 millimeter. Let's try that. $19mm might work. Maybe I should do 18 instead, I don't know. Oh, look at that. 19mm. Works fine. Okay. You know what? The spacers, so here's something interesting. You see how tall the movement holder spacers are there? I think this is gonna work because those are still taller than the battery. So I think this is gonna work fine. Maybe. No, I think it will. As soon as I get this case back on. Yeah, that should totally be fine. Oh, you know what? The gasket is causing... Gasket's causing issues, so I'm gonna have to put this in the in my vise, which I'm gonna do. Because the new gasket is causing resistance. It should be okay. Throw this on. And then the bottom one might be okay. No, that's too big. Let's get something a bit smaller. Like, I don't know, this one maybe? That should be okay. Okay, now we're going to switch gears, try and get this in. Okay. So, all I need to do is put this in here. Try and get as even pressure as possible. I think this needs to be centered. Something's happening. Okay. Did it work? No, it did not. What am I doing wrong? Still running. Maybe I've got to put a smaller diameter plate on. Could be the problem. Let's try it again. I'm just trying not to damage the watch, obviously. Seems like way too much pressure. Yeah, it's pushing the gasket out. I don't think I'm going to be able to put a gasket back on this. That's a shame. The gaskets I have are too thick. Which means I'm not putting a gasket back on. There we go. Yeah, I was able to put it back on with my hands. So, no gasket. It is still running. I don't think the taller battery is going to cause a problem with this one. It certainly can. And you definitely want to, double check and make sure that the a taller battery isn't going to damage anything, but for this particular watch, I think we're good. Beautiful, yeah. Looks pretty good. Very cool. Quarter for reference. This is a woman's watch. It is 33mm lug to lug, 18mm case across the case, I guess is what I'd say. It's got an 8mm band, and it is 6.6mm thick. So there you go. It is running. So, all right. Well, I think the battery's gonna work out for this. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, yeah, take it easy.